All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How you guys liking these 8:30 a.m. calls? I know a couple of you are calling in from the West Coast, so I'm imagining that you are setting your alarms to get up early. I know some of you are on the East Coast, and it's probably coffee time, so it's a interesting time of the day, but the reason why we have been scheduling some of these earlier calls, and we'll go through this again probably next week as a litmus test, is the traders that are coming on have recommended that we are actively engaged in trading around the opening bell, which I guess would be like 9 a.m. or 9:30, I think, in certain cases. So we'll let them kind of go through that. But 9 a.m. is when they specifically wanted to kind of target in. They do calls during the middle of the week, so I grabbed the bookends to see if maybe they could just come on and help us personalize our experience a little bit more. So how you guys liking that so far? What's your thoughts about the early morning calls?
Fine with me. I'm a morning person.
What time do you get up, Sean?
I usually get up at 5 Central Time. So it's about 6 Eastern.
6. So okay. So yeah. So where do you live?
I'm in Tennessee.
Tennessee. Okay. Cool. Anybody else? Everybody being quiet. No one wants to come off mute. I got a thumbs up and I know Mike's out on the West Coast, so for Mike it's got to be like 5:30, right?
I'm in Minnesota, so it's good for me. So
Minnesota. It's funny. It's funny how much I talk to some of you guys, and yet I had no clue where some of you live. Some of you I know, some of you I don't. So Jim, you're out in Minnesota, so it's nice and you like that warm weather, huh?
It's actually warm.
Yeah, well, it's right now. It's not too bad here in Jersey. We're at like 60 degrees right now. So, and Susie from Pacific, where are you at in Pacific? Are you in California? Where are you? North Idaho. All right. Well, let's see who else. Bev, you where do you live, Bev?
I'm in Texas.
You're in Texas, out by Kenneth. You're near him.
Yeah. I'm in Houston.
Oh, you're in Houston because he's like on the suburbs of Houston, I think, right? So you guys know each other face to face, then, right?
Oh yeah. We've had a history.
Okay.
For a few years.
Good.
As you said, this trading world demands that you get on top of it early. So
yeah, I'm starting to see like
against the worm, right?
Man, it's like you got to get up early. Sometimes stay up a little bit late. Maddie Pips does a pretty good one at 11 p.m. That's like way past my bedtime, but I've been trying to stay up and get on some of those trades. Although last night he busted me up pretty good. I'll share my experience with that. But no, it's cool having everybody kind of get on early. And of course, I'm recording the call, and I'll post it on. I don't know where I'll post today. I might put this one on YouTube, and that's the good thing about, or one of the positive things about Akashx, is some of you know some of the opportunities are that I explore are private, and I can't put them on YouTube. Some I can, so it's just I got to be careful on how I do that. So it's kind of a variety of the two things, and just as a disclaimer, I know most of you guys probably already know who I am. but my name is Glenn Crawford. Now, I will say you'll probably hear my nickname, Animal, is from my network marketing days. So you'll hear some of these guys refer to me as Animal. That was my what do you call it? My nickname, my surname that I was given years ago when I got into that space, and it kind of just stuck. So you'll hear some people say that, but just as a disclaimer, I don't work for Akashx or any platform that I ever talk about. I am an independent contractor or a member, just like any of you, and I just try to share a little bit of my experiences behind the scenes, whatever I can to help you all speed up that learning curve, because I'm aware of course, that some of us are spread thin, or we're in different opportunities, or we have jobs, and you just want to try to get the information that you need to help you make decisions and speed up your path. So I don't work for any company. I'm again, independent contractor. I do recommend that you make your decisions wisely if you're going to invest in any of this stuff. Like obviously I've talked about trying to isolate us from these scams that are out there, and why I look at certain things, and just trying to give you insight as to my thought processes. At the same time, regardless of whether something's a scam or not, there's always risk, right? Like sometimes it's kind of funny, but like the scams are easy. They don't require any hard work. You just send them money, and you make money, and when it works, they're great until they don't, and then all of a sudden you're like, why did I do that? Of course, it was high risk. As soon as you give your money over to a third party, then you're at high risk. So yeah, they're easier. Yeah, there's a higher rate of return, and they're really fun. And they're very addictive. When they're working well, it's hard to argue that there's better money that could be made. The problem is, if you've ever lost any significant amount of money in one of those, then you'll understand that you just can't go that path anymore. And I had to eliminate it from my consciousness. And that's why anytime I've been brought an opportunity now in 2024, I have a strict set of guidelines that I'm using. And if I can't get the answers that I need, it doesn't mean that it's a scam or that I think it's even a scam. There's a couple that I think maybe probably were real, but I just couldn't get the answers that I needed. And so I had to pass. And I'm just not willing to allow anything that has either issues, or where money is stuck, or there's problems, or it's a potential scam, or I can't know the people behind it. I can't get proof or evidence to support how profits are made. Just all these little things that, they're flags that maybe we kind of looked the other way on before. I won't allow any of that into my sphere of consciousness at this point. And I'm only focused on areas where we can not only make money and that are working, but they have obviously significant upside. Of course, if I can get into something that has a lower barrier to entry, that's even more appealing. And that's the whole game plan that we have kind of discovered here with Akashx. And just as a disclaimer, like, this is not perfect. The tap, we'll talk about this because this actually is kind of getting me hurt on my strategy. But the tap to trade, this is new. It's only been out for like 2 or 3 weeks. Now, this is what got my attention, is the tap to trade, because I see now where the direction of Akashx is going. And I know that with the right trades, the right traders, and the right tools, that they could use this tap to trade technology. And when you combine it with the contests, the ability for us to pass through the contest significantly goes up much higher. but there are still working through some of the kinks with tap to trade. There's been some software kinks, some software glitches where some trades taps weren't sent out, then some were sent out twice. So they're kind of working through a couple of those things. Also, they are creating a leaderboard, and that will give us the ability to see which traders have success and which traders maybe are not having as much success. And for those of you who are with like Copy Pro Traders or other companies like that, it helps for us to be able to see the trader's track record so that we can make better decisions about whose taps we want to take. And so if somebody is running at a 60% positive win rate versus somebody that's running at an 87% positive win rate, then that's probably more the taps that I would want. But there's other factors like, the size of the trades, maybe what commodity or what currencies they're trading. So there's more to it. So there'll be different statistics. All that is being programmed in right now, but it'll give us a chance to kind of see maybe which traders we want taps from, because there may be some traders that maybe we're not. Maybe we just want to watch them. I'm not saying we don't want their taps. Maybe we just want to keep an eye on them. And then some that are winning on a higher rate, of course, we want to try to maybe see and be involved in all of their taps. So again, it just gives us a little more clarity. And right now, the good news is we're running everything on demo accounts. Everybody should be running on demo accounts. So all of these little glitches that I've been seeing and hearing about, my MetaTrader 5 isn't logging my trades, or it's not syncing with the Akashx app, or whatever little, like I had somebody yesterday, we got to fix their account. There's a demo account, but their MetaTrader 5 account shows them in a $29 million hole on their account. Obviously, that can't even be possible. So my point is that there's a lot of and this has nothing to do with Akashx. This is actually from Akashx Securities, who sent out a message this morning or last night saying that they're having some problems with MetaTrader 5. The Akashx is working on integrating in Trade Locker, which will be another version of MetaTrader 5, right? That's a trading app. That's all being integrated in. That should be done soon. So there's just a lot, excuse me, there's a lot happening right now. And so the important thing is that you stick with your demo account, practice on fake money. Let's make mistakes. Let's let them work through what they're working through, because once they get through all this, and we've had now some practice under our belt, then this is, I think, going to be probably one of the best, sheer opportunities that we could potentially be involved in because of the low barrier to entry and the high upside. So I've talked about this, but I'll just kind of just lay it out real quick. I've said 1K to 1 million in 1 year, and I'm sticking to this plan. This is what I see. This is the blueprint that I feel can be followed. And just to give you some insight as to how I see this, 1K. So technically, it's actually might be a little more than a 1K, but it can be less too. I went through this last week, but it's $149 a month to be a member of the Akashx community, which gives you access to all of these tools, right? There's scanners, there's experts, there's live sessions, there's tap to trade, there's a lot of different tools that are all available to us through this community. And if you've done any other research and looked at other things like this, there's nothing out there that can provide us this level of access to this level of technology and tools and experts for such a low price. It just doesn't exist. So forget about the rest of the plan. This is just an amazing product But then once we get in, now we're practicing and we're doing it on a demo account, which allows us to learn. It allows us to learn how to manage these trades without risking our own money. So we're not using real money at this point. Even if you have money that you could potentially put into a brokerage account and you wanted to, my suggestion would be really just dive into and get used to all of this technology and master it, because the things that I thought were going to be the tools that I would use are starting to actually fade away. And there's other tools that are coming into the spotlight for me that I'm now using and having even more success on. And it's allowing me to learn at a much higher pace because now I can see the experts, I can see the trades, I can see all the things. And as they come together, it's helping me expand my awareness. But I'm even still using a demo account. So that demo account is basically allowing me to make the trades without having a high risk. 3, once we've established a track record with the demo account and we are comfortable with the trades that we're making and that we know we can manage this account and keep within the lines, I say color within the lines, then at that point we can enter into a contest. And excuse me for just 2 seconds here. All right, sorry about that. All right, you should still see my screen here. Okay, so once we've now mastered the demo account, now we're going to enter into a contest. Now, I will tell you that the contests are not going to be as easy as what people think. I've said it many times. This is not a get rich quick deal. Like, this isn't going to be something where all of a sudden you snap your fingers and you're making 50,000 a month or 30,000 a month, or it's just not what this is going to be. But you are now taking control over your finances. You are using and mastering tools to help you manage your own finances. And once you, and this is just on the way to learning how to do a contest, once you get to a point where you feel confident enough to do a contest, you may actually, I've already had a couple people come to me and say, I have my own money. Like, I don't even know that I want to do a contest right now. I'm now winning 1% to 2% a day pretty steadily. And I think I might just put money into my own brokerage account and start trading with my own money so I don't have to split it with anybody. Now, that could be something you would want to do too. Maybe you don't have access to the money. And what I like about this plan is that everybody can come in here and spend essentially $149, trade and practice for free, get into all the live classes, use all the tools, everything for free. And then when they're ready, if they decide to do a contest, it's not mandatory, then you can do a contest for anywhere as low as $275 up to like $975, and then there's a couple little add-ons that we'll talk about as well. But you can do that contest. That's optional. You don't have to do that. But by doing this, you could get access to up to a $200,000 fully funded trading account where now you are essentially managing other people's money. You're managing somebody else's money. And yes, there are strict guidelines to managing that account. But if you can learn how to color within the lines and you can learn how to manage an account properly, then you could essentially be running, again, let's use the scenario of a $200,000 account. And if you can target 1% to maybe 1.5% per day, then you're looking at $2,000 to $3,000 per day, of which you would be able to keep up to 80%, actually 90% if you wanted to do the add-ons of that, and you can take out the withdrawal on a daily basis. Now there's more to it. You got to get through the contest. There's an 8-day lockup where you can't take any of the funds out for 8 days. But once you get through all of this, you could essentially be managing an account that's fully funded, and it can create instant cash flow without you putting up the risk capital. So really, we can do the contest for under 1,000. So that's why I say I'm very comfortable sticking by that we could get this plan done for $1,000 or under. And if you are able to get to a point where, and let's say it takes you 1 to 2 months to master the technology, to really understand how this whole thing works, to understand how to manage the risk. And it takes a little bit of time for you to learn and master all these skills to the point where you now get to the contest, to the point where you now get to a fully funded account. And let's say that's 60 days through that process. And now you've actually created this cash flow. If you do this right, you could be looking at $8,000 to $10,000 a week or more in cash flow. Matty Pitts just posted he had his best trading night ever the night before, and I think it was like 18,000. He was able to take out like over $10,000 in withdrawals the next day. So $8,000 to $10,000 a week. Let's just say that. Let's stick with that. And if you took half of it, I used the 8, and you put $4K into bills and expenses, and then $4K into your own brokerage account under your own name, and compound that out over a year, you're looking at over $1 million. And I can show you that on a compound interest calculator if you haven't seen it. I've done it before, where you're essentially taking half of this. So you'd be essentially earning about $200,000 during the course of the year. And if you took half of your profits out, and that's accounting for the 20% that goes to the company that's providing you the opportunity to manage the account, you take half of that, put it in your pocket, bills and expenses, and then half of it goes towards your own brokerage account, where you are now compounding. You're still now trading off of the profits that you earned from managing somebody else's money. So it's still, you've never put in this scenario, this blueprint, really more than about $1,000 out of your pocket, and you're now have enough money to cover a normal person or even a normal family's bills and expenses, and enough money to roll into your own private brokerage account under your name, manage that account the same way you're managing the other account, and then you roll and compound that interest out for a year, and you're looking at over $1 million. So 1K or less to $1 million or more in about a year, and it could be even less than a year if you're willing to put less in your pocket and more into compounding. So that's essentially the blueprint. There's no real catch here, other than the fact that you're going to have to actually work. You're going to have to probably fail a lot more than you're used to failing. I already hear the birds chirping. I hear people, complaining about, oh, my software doesn't work, or this trade didn't go through, or this trade was bad, or that trade. Like, I get it, right? Like, I didn't get enough taps. I got too many taps. If the taps were good, the taps were bad. Stop. There's a lot of tools here. There's a lot to learn. This is not like anything we've done in the past where and I've said this, so hopefully I was clear. You're not just giving your money to somebody and saying, oh, I want to make, $1 million. We are learning to use these tools, a variety of tools, which now some of my favorites are even the scanners and the live sessions, and totally different than what I originally thought. You're learning to use those skills. You're practicing on a demo account. Then we're going to go into a contest. Once you've proven to yourself that you can effectively manage an account and hit 1% a day or hit 1.5% a day and string together 5 to 10 days so that you can actually prove, hey, it's worth me spending the money now to go into a contest. Take your time, get this right, put the time, effort, and energy into it, because the upside is so much bigger and so real that we've never seen anything or touched anything like this, where we've seen things that have this potential upside. I'm not saying we haven't seen that, but we have not actually seen anything that only really required a very small deposit and a very low amount of risk. Like, our risk is going into a contest and then coloring outside of the lines, meaning I go more than 5% into losses on a day, or more than 10% in total. And then I have to bow out of the contest. They take my keys away. Or my risk is that I actually now qualify for $100,000 or a $200,000 fully funded training account. And then I go and I lose my patience, or the market turns on me and I lose too much over the course of the day and I lose access to that account. So you're going to have to learn to manage this properly, and you're going to have to learn how to use the tools effectively. And if you're already like frustrated, then this probably isn't right and you weren't hearing what I was saying. This is going to be hard. It is not going to be easy. They are not just going to hand over $200,000 fully funded trading accounts to everybody because they raised their hand and they're willing to put up a deposit to join the contest. So can you just go and do the contest now? Yes. Will you probably not make it? Probably won't, because it's not going to be as easy as you think it is. If you do what I'm telling you, and you really pay attention and you really start studying this stuff and you really immerse yourself in this as much as you can, then you will get the tools, the experience, the knowledge that you need, and the help that you need to pass these contests. And then within a couple months, you're now trading on other people's money, using the tools to trade on other people's money, and able to take out withdrawals on a daily basis. So, all right, it is 9 o'clock. Let's see now if, let's see, I see Javid and Brent. I see Brent and Javid are on the call. I was just warming up, a little bit for you guys to take center stage. And I very much appreciate, I'm going to turn it over because it is 9 o'clock, but I got to make these guys co-host, so let me do that real quick, and then I'll stop sharing my screen as well. But I really appreciate, we have two of the expert traders on, Javid Khan and Brent Battle are both on. They are two of the experienced expert traders that are giving suggestions, that are running live sessions, that are sending out tap to trades, and have been gracious enough to give us a week or two of their time. And then we're going to kind of see how it goes. And then we'll make a decision on whether or not this is something we can install permanently, or, maybe it's not, but we'll see how it goes. But right now they've given us their time for a few of these sessions to help our team get through the learning curve a little bit faster. And so I very much appreciate having you guys on the call. How you guys doing this morning? Are we got any good action going on?
Thank you for the warm welcome, Glenn. Actually, just before this session, me and Brent were analyzing together, and we got in for a buy on gold. If you have a look at gold right now, we literally got in for a buy when it was at 58. Let me just have a look at where it's at right now. Oh, it's at 63. No.
You got in at 58? I didn't even see that it went down all the way to 58. Wow.
Yeah.
Where did it go down to 58? I see it down to 61.
Yeah, it dropped down to 58 if you zoom out.
It must have, I see. It's one of those really faint lines that go down, right? So it was like down there for like a second.
Yeah. Actually, 10
Like
minutes
50,
ago, actually.
Yeah,
10 minutes.
somewhere around that.
Interesting.
Yeah, so clean. So yeah, hi everyone. Hope you're all doing well. We're back again to do some analysis on gold with you guys, for you guys as well. Apply our analysis to the charts. Me and Brent are going to be going over gold and indices with you guys, and hopefully, if you guys have your account set up with Glenn, getting into these trades with us and profiting with us as well. We're going to miss out more on the theoretical side. We're going to be doing more. We're going to be analyzing together and actually getting into the trades together as well, and explaining what we see, why we're going in for it. So you all get a better understanding as to why we go in for certain trades, and also so you feel comfortable as well, because I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to be investing blindly in a lot of things. Like if you're going to be taking especially trades, stuff that's to do with your own finances, your own money, or even if you're using the contest accounts, you want to know why you're going in for the trade. So you guys get a better understanding of our way of trading. We'll be explaining that. So yeah, Brent, you want to put up the charts? I like it when you have the screens up on Trade Locker. It looks pretty clean.
Yep. Yeah, we definitely can do that here. Let me go ahead and share. Boom. All right. So we got here the goods. We got a couple of things that we traded here. Majority, Lisa and myself for sure, what we both trade is gold. That is definitely something that we both touch. I like trading NAS and US 32, which is an indice. And just like Javed said, it's not really something we're going to go super technical, fundamental on. We're just going to actually guide the market. I know both of us aren't really big on trading on Fridays just because there's a lot of correction that happens in the market. But on the flip side, I like trading Fridays. I know Joe likes trading Fridays when we have big news. So we had a big news, so it actually brings volume into the market that typically is not there on a Friday. It actually pushes it through because we have a lot of movement, a lot of stuff happening. With that news, we have Empire State Manufacturing, which already happened, import prices, industrial production, and capacity utilization that's happening here in 10 minutes. Then at 9, we have the bigger news, which is the prelim of the consumer sentiment and the inflation expectation. So these two are really going to push that make that movement, and really it could push it to do that correction, do that. There's so many different names, different terms. You guys are going to learn here that each educator has a different style. And sometimes we call things in a different way. Like it's the same thing, but it has different names at the end of the day, right? And it's the same purpose of it. And a lot of times what happens, we can see like this big drop that happened here on US 30. That news could be the perfect reason. I'm not saying it's going to go up because I haven't even analyzed it, but news like this could be that perfect reason to say, hey, there's a bunch of retail in here that made a bunch of money and only the institutions want to win. So what they could easily do is use that news as an excuse to say, oh, let's get everybody out. And then keep on dropping, because the move wants to go down. There's just too much retail that came here. On a Friday, you wouldn't really see that, and that's why we don't touch much Fridays. But being with the new set, we have these bigger moves that we can see already. I mean, this is a 30-minute trade. You can already see these big 2 candles. Was that news that happened around an hour ago? So that, again, gives you an idea of what we could start seeing on gold, on US 30, NAS, a little 3 that we trade. We can analyze a little bit more gold right now. More than anything, see if we can find some really quick little stuff. We'll look at Golden Ring, which is one of the scanners. We'll look at my MetaTrader, which I have my scanner, and we'll see what we can find there. What we like to do, of course, before we lean on anything just purely technological, is using our experience. Of course, Ruben and I have both been trading for years. We like looking at the chart as naked as possible, right? Trying to see more of that market structure, trying to get that picture overall of what's happening, where is it going, and then we start locking in with any indicators, scanners, things of that nature to really find that entry. When we're having that conversation this morning, I was like, man, I really like this take profit, but the entry, I'm kind of like, I can't really see it right now. I'm not even on my computer yet. I need to get on the computer, and that's when it's like, hey, I see it right here, right? I see where the entry is here at 58. I was like, all right, cool, bet. So it's something that we bounce a lot of each other, a lot of educators. We have different styles, and that always complements each other to provide you guys better quality. Of course, we're not financial advisors, guys, so that's something that I'll always be before our sessions. We show the disclaimers, things of that nature. But yeah, let's see what we got. We have the opening bell, like I said, here in 24 minutes. Yep, I'm setting that up for 24 minutes,
Yeah.
and then we have the news happening here like in 13 minutes. The news that's happening here shouldn't do much. It's orange. I don't think it'll do much, but we'll still keep an eye on it. Okay.
Yeah, so we're just going to keep an eye on gold right now, guys. We're going to wait for it to go to the right areas for us to get into the trade. There's no point of jumping into a trade when you feel like, oh, I missed it, I need to get into a trade, because trades on gold, especially, and indices, they always come around. They always come around. There's no point hopping into a trade that you feel like has already made its move or started its move, because what could happen then? Something called a retracement, where the market pulls back a little bit, and even if it pulls back a little bit, it might hit your stop loss. So it's better to always get the entry that you want. So that's what we're going to be making sure right now. Like, if you guys remember, everybody that was in our last session with Glenn, you would remember that we went in for a sell trade on gold. Even though it wasn't the best entry that we wanted, we went in for the sell trade, but we had an area marked up where we said, this is our best case scenario where we would want to go in for a sell trade. And then when the market climbed up to there, Glenn actually hopped in for the sell trade and made quite a good amount of profit. So it's good to make sure you trust your analysis, and not only trusting your analysis, but following what you see, not what you want to happen to the markets. Just because you see the markets has gone up by quite a lot doesn't mean that it's going to drop next because you want it to. No, it needs to be based on what your analysis states. So I know for a lot of you, you might feel like, okay, but I don't know how to analyze. I don't know how to do the drawings on the charts like you guys for me to be able to make money. Well, don't worry. That's where we come in as educators. That's why we're here to also plant our analysis onto the charts, and for you guys to get into the same trades as us, placing the same trades as us, for you to be able to profit as well, for you to get comfortable with placing trades. It's like when Glenn first started with us, he was like, okay, I know. He was very transparent with us. He was like, I don't know what I'm doing right now on the charts. I don't know how to apply this analysis that you guys are speaking of. But then once he started watching more and more of our sessions, tuning in with us more and more, applying the scanners that we have on our platform, he understood how to be a self-sufficient trader as well and be able to catch his own trades. That's when I was very impressed, actually, when Glenn was sending his screenshots saying these are the trades I caught on my account and so on. And I was like, wow, look. So it was very nice to see that you can become a self-sufficient trader using the tools that we have available here. So from what we can see right now, Bren, what we're looking at right now, gold on the hour.
I'm thinking we buy again at 58.5.
Yep, that's all good.
58.5.
I'm all for that. As long as it goes down there, I'm all for it.
You don't need to take it all the way up there, but I think we can still see that 65.
Yeah.
We can obviously cover a 3 up, 3 down, just making sure we don't get greedy, but I can see it still coming back up to 65. See if this news gives us that little push down. So I don't think this is going to do much.
News in 5 minutes, right?
Yeah, it might give us that little bit of just 20, 30 pip, little oomph right down there. A lot of times when there's news like that, guys, it's not something that I like sending out as. And then that sometimes I know this, if you're already in Akashx, you probably didn't see many types of trades for the last 2-3 days. And that's the reason, because of how the market has been. So that's the benefit of when you can actually join a live session, right? So like I'm liking a buy somewhere around 58.50, right? But if that news actually gives us a bigger push down, then I'm going to want to get in lower. So I'm not going to put a limit there. I'm going to just wait to it manually. So when it comes down, let's say it comes down and forms a huge wick like this candle right here, just to say, you know what, screw you guys. I'm going to throw a big, huge candle just because. No reason, just because. Well, then at that point, I'm going to wait, boom, and now I'm in at 55. And now I'm having my stop loss be way down at 52 instead of my stop loss being 55. So with news, I like playing it a little bit different like that for that reason. But as far as just looking at the chart, we have all this noise here. So we have a nice little order block over here. We have the 4-hour support right here. This kind of respected one more time. It was one of those kind of like screw you guys type of moments, but it's still respected overall the bodies of the candles. We're getting the EMA 200. Stochastics are starting to be oversold, overbought. So there's a couple of different reasons there why I like the buy. Overall, bigger picture, like what you were saying right now, right? Last week we had our different zones. So like kind of zones I would like to see today for buys are down here, anywhere from 52 to 50. It sells anywhere from 67 to 72. Here's kind of that bigger stretch, like what we looked at last week. But it kind of gives a picture, I think, what we should see throughout the news and throughout the morning and everything. It would be nice for us to consolidate, balance in between these two zones. So that's something I started looking first for those zones and then kind of locking into the shorter time frame to find a better move then and there. So yeah, I think on the 5 minute for sure too, the buys look nice. I would just like news to come make it push one more time. It might have already left us.
3 minutes left.
Might have already left us. So we'll see. If it did, it is what it is. No worries. But it might have already left us.
Let's see. We've got news in 2 more minutes.
Brent, when you say it might have already left us, you mean that we might not see the market go back down to the 2158 area, because it's right now hovering, it looks like at 2161, right?
No, so it can. It's just more of like, as you can see here, we had these downs, it touched this area, went up, we had the wick down, went up, made a support. So the actual of the buying right now at like this particular time frame might have already left us. So really what I'm liking is it to come down one more time to then bounce off, right? But it might just continue doing this and leave us. And it's okay. It doesn't mean it won't get back there and later on during the day or whatever it is. It's just right now in this 5 minute chart, in this, because the way I like scalping is I look in the 30 minute, 1 hour, 30 minute, lock in a little bit more in the 15, and then I trade inside the 5. And that's kind of what you were saying right now. It might be something to where it already left us, and I'm not going to rush and get in it just because that move actually probably already happened. Will it repeat itself? 9 out of 10, because that's what trading is. Like I always say that, like guys, there's gonna get a time and point in day where you're gonna get bored of trading, or you're gonna say, man, like I'm just a magician. Like I've seen this. I'm seeing the future. And it's not that. It's just trading and just the patterns repeat itself over and over again. And the prices touch yourself over and over again. It happens like that, which is something good. That's what some recommendation that I have from a mentor was like, hey, just stick to one pair. Six to 1 months, just close every single other pair out and just look at one pair and one pair only for 6 months. And you're going to start seeing how now you just start understanding more of how it moves. You just really learn that pair. For me, that was gold, and then I moved into US 30 and NAS because I like how it makes those moves during the opening bell. But yeah. So we still might see how we're just going to chill. It's a rush wait scenario here, but still liking this one. It's still giving me enough reason.
I think that this is a lot like being a cop sitting in a stakeout, where like on TV it looks all exciting, but really in reality you're kind of just like sitting there staring at a house for a long period of time waiting for some action. But I feel like that's what I've been doing like the last 2 weeks. Is I've just been on like a lot of stakeouts, just watching and and the thing about the scanners that I love, and I would have not even looked at the scanners had it not been for getting on all these live sessions you guys do. But then once I hear you guys talking about that you're even using the scanners, then I started going over. I actually really like Pulse. I don't know why. For some reason, it just speaks to me. I just like that scanner, and by watching the scanner and then watching you guys live, and then really focusing in on mainly gold. Even though I've touched on a couple of crypto things because I understand crypto a little bit more too, but I've mainly focused in on gold, and I am now believing what you're saying because it's been a couple of weeks and I start feeling the market a little bit more than like in a week ago. I never would have said this, but now I start feeling it. I'm like, I feel like it's gonna bounce. I feel like it wants to go down. Like you can feel where it wants to go. And I'm not saying I'm not even close to where you guys are, but I understand what you're saying now because I can, it's like a vibe, like a pulse. You could feel it, sort of like wanting to go in a direction.
Yeah, 100%. By the way, Brent, Golden Rain said buy at 2160. I think it just climbed up now.
Yeah, so saying hopefully it didn't leave us. 21, yeah, but that could have been it down there. So then looking at it here at the 5 minute on here, I think that could have been it right there.
Yeah, otherwise we gotta wait for it to drop another 17 pips.
Yeah,
that's
this was like the sniper shot right here. This was that beautiful confirmation of that leveling out. That's where Golden Ring calls it.
Yeah.
So we might be seeing upward momentum here, which at that point our next stop is right here to here. So we still could probably sell, and that's something that I typically do. We look for those reversals. Even though the trend is going up, we can sell. The trend is going down, we can buy. Overall, you always want to be the trend is your friend. They say that. It's overall a better stake if you're trying to look for farther hits. I like scalping, so for me, I like having that adrenaline rush of going against the trend. As long as you're doing it properly, doing it correctly, you find it in your channel. There's a replay session that I have that I explain channels, like how you make your consolidation, but it doesn't always consolidate right to left. A lot of times it consolidates even when it's on the downward, upward momentum. And here you can see it. That's how I see it with the channel. Right?
Based on where it is right now, would you want to go in for one up to 63.7? Now that it's at 2160.7?
It's coming down a little bit.
Has that pullback?
1 minute. Eyes are in.
You ready?
I'm always down for a YOLO.
Yeah, let's go for it. Let's go for it.
57 stop loss. 63 take profits.
And we are in.
What happens? Could come down a little bit more to my EMA, but even if it does, we're still covered enough stop loss, so I like it. Like there's still enough room. And since yesterday, I was seeing that I'm on a chat that we have talking about, like, man, like since yesterday, my wicks are not touching. Like that, yesterday I lost so many. I didn't lose trades, but like we didn't take so many trades. Like I lost those opportunities. So I was like, okay, guys, when it touches the EMA at 58.77, we buy it, and then it would go to freaking 58.82. I was like, bro, like it kept on doing that nonstop to me yesterday. Like there was so many opportunities that we missed on NAS US 30. It's actually in the meantime while this runs, I'm going to go ahead and see what we can start cooking over there for US 30 for NAS. These are indices. They like to move very fast. If you are, and I don't say this saying that I'm trying to like brag or anything, but if you don't have the expertise on trading, if this is your first time, don't take these trades. Just watch them, listen, have fun, enjoy the show. This is not for the faint of heart, especially for opening bell. There's a lot of movement that happens at once. The lot size per dollar is very different. So a lot of times, even with small accounts, you can't take these trades. That's why we love using TradeX's program. And then obviously building your own capital to build it, to have enough capital to trade it. But you do need a little bit of more capital to trade indices too. These are basically 30 US stocks inside one. And then NAS 100 is 100 US stocks inside one. So lots of movement, especially when the opening bell happens, because that's when a lot of people will come in with their orders, both retail, institution, the whole nine. There's a lot of movements in these, but I love it for that reason. This one, as you can see on gold, we did what we call 3 up, 3 down. So it's 30 pips, but it's just a lot easier because it's $3, right? The last number, we just add and subtract 3 each way. That's typically what we do. If it's a trade alert, we might do 4, maybe it's going to be a 5. You just have to calculate your risk at that point because we're looking for a larger move. For US 30 and for NAS, I do 10 up, 10 down. So I actually do 100 pip risk is what I'm looking at on there. But
Brent, can you explain what a pip is to these guys?
Not really. The pip, I always get it mixed, the pip and the pen and all that stuff. It's basically the order, right? It's the actual order of what it is, the calculation of the order of putting in per lot, because we actually put in orders on lots when we're doing the contracts, but we actually don't do contracts like futures. We just click the button, but the broker actually does the contract, and it's the measurement based off the quantity of the lot, because one lot is worth so many pips. Did I explain that right?
Yeah, 100%. That's in technical terms, for sure.
Yeah.
To break it down simply, PIPS, it stands for price in points. So, for example, let's just say when it comes to buying something in a store, when you want to buy a chocolate bar, for example, and it's selling for $3, example, okay? You know the price of that chocolate bar is $3. Now, when we're trading on the markets, we trade one currency against another. So, for example, when we're trading gold, we trade XAU, which is gold, against USD. So the currency pair is XAU USD. So the prices that you see, for example, right now, the price of gold is 2,159. Okay, so you get basically $2,159 for 1 ounce of gold. So pips, price in points, is the measurement of the price differences. So when the price of gold goes from 2,159 to 2,160, that means the price has now jumped up by 10 pips. So the measurement for gold, the last digit, the 2,159, if it climbed up to 2,160, that means it's gone up by 10 pips, 10 price in points. So if it goes up to 2,161, it's gone up by 20 pips. Now, the pips measurement is different for different pairs, depending on what pair you're looking at. So when you're looking at traditional Forex pairs, such as EUR USD, so that is 1 euro against the dollar. How many dollars do you get for 1 euro? Or USD JPY, how many Japanese yen you get per dollar? The pips price in points is the numbers you see on the chart for what the valuation of a euro is against the US dollar. So don't worry if it seems confusing once it's broken down. In our sessions on our Akashx platform, we do have basic breakdowns of this as well for you, ladies and gentlemen. But what I want you to know, the pips is basically just the measurement, the price, the value of a currency. And when we say, oh, we're looking to catch a 50 pip trade, a profitable 50 pip trade or 30 pip trade, that just means if we went in for a buy, we want the price to go up by 30 pips. So in this example for gold, let's say we went in for the buy at 2,160. By the way, you're in a buy on US 30 as well now, right, Brent?
Yeah, I went to buying yesterday. Technically, we should wait like 5 minutes, but right now I didn't want to interrupt, so we might still be looking for this here in the next 5 minutes.
Okay, that's fine, no problem. So on gold, when we said let's go in for a buy for gold at 2,160, what we set our TP at 2,163. So we're trying to catch a 30 pip take profit. Does that make sense, ladies and gents? So that's pips for you in simple terms. I hope that makes sense. And if it didn't, don't worry, there's educational videos we have breaking it down detailed step by step on our Akashx platform.
That's awesome. And the other thing that people have asked about is figuring out lot sizes. Like how do you figure out because essentially with a lot size, when I first started trading and they said, well, you just program in the lot size you want. I'm like, yeah, I don't understand what that means. I don't know what a lot size is. And so, I was, of course, play with it. And then I end up losing more than I should because I didn't understand that measurement of what I was actually willing to risk by putting, programming in that lot size. Is there, maybe like a simple way to explain that to people so that they understand?
Yeah, 100%. So when it comes to, for example, I like comparing it to budgeting in real life in general. So when it comes to, let's say you're saving up to purchase a home, You make a money management plan, right? You budget, you decide how much you're going to, from your income, put towards your groceries, how much of your income you're going to put towards saving for your home that you're going to purchase, how much of your income you're going to put towards in your general savings, and so on. You have a money management plan, right? In trading, our risk management is all based on, or primarily based on, our lot sizes as well. So how to figure out what lot size you should be putting in for your account? Well, let me just quickly check something. Give me one moment, guys. Let me log into my Akashx account, because I believe we do have something on our platform that can...
We do, yeah. We have calculators here. So we do have calculators here on the bottom for you guys, so you can still see that. And those are on Trade Locker. I mean, you really don't even need to use this for those that are in Trade Locker. That's why I like Trade Locker right now a lot. MT5 can kind of do that on your phone too. That's, for me, it's important to understand how much you're risking, right? So if you know you could risk $100 per trade, like you already made your calculation on your proper risk management plan, it's $100, and you want to buy NAS right now, you can click your stop loss, put your stop loss that you want. So, okay, my stop loss needs to be 900. Okay, cool. I take profit. I know I want it to be 18. Cool. And now, right now, one lot, I'm risking $25, but I want to risk 100. So if I do $10, now I'm risking 200. So that's a little bit too much. 0.5. Okay, 130. That's good enough. Bam, done. So that's how I figure out the lot. I don't overcomplicate it, because it'll literally tell me right here in the P&L, based off the lot size, how much I'm risking with the P&L.
So is this Trade Locker? Is that what you're in right now?
Yeah, Trade Locker does that, and then MT5 on the phone does the same thing, because when you put the trade on, it'll show you, when you put the stop loss take profit, how much you're risking on each side. Alternatively to that, then you would do it the way like Jabed was saying right now. You do the calculator, you utilize the calculators to figure out what the proper risk would be.
Yeah, so on our Akashx platform, we have a calculator. Literally, when you're logged into Akashx, on the left-hand side on the menu, you will see under calendars, it says calculators. When you click on calculators, you will see we have 3 different calculators that you can use. We have a pip calculator, just for you to get an idea of how many pips you're looking to catch on a trade or so on. We have a profit calculator that allows you to figure out how much profit you can make from a trade when you enter the lot size, what price you're going in for the trade, what price you're looking to exit the trade, and also what the pip size of that trade is. But in simple terms, for lot sizes, we have a lot size calculator as well on the left-hand side. So, for example, if you put in gold into the lot size calculator.
Sorry to interrupt you really quick. I'm going to go ahead and take a buy here on NAS 100. Yeah. Oh, I put me in higher than what I wanted to, but we're in profits there. We're in profits. So what I do typically here when there's news and I open, I put my stop loss, I move my stop loss up to take almost no risk there at that point. We are in profits, over $200 in profits there. I want us to push up a little bit more.
Nice.
Look at the 1 minute time frame. There we go. We have a nice level up 1-2. Again, this is why I don't really call much of a trade. It's a little bit different on the live session. This is how I trade the opening bell one. Right now, we are risking only.
Yeah, we've got opening bell happening.
So there's really relatively no risk on NAS. NAS really want to risk somewhere around 200 to 300 pips. And right now, this is just 100 pip risk at that point. So it's not much no risking right now. I look at the candle behavior in the 1 minute. So as you can see, it's kind of like it's wanting to push up, but it's pushing more to the bottom. So that's not a good indication right now. We did get a big wick up. I didn't go out myself. That's fine. I'd rather take little chunks when this happens at the opening bell versus putting one big stop loss. I like dividing my trade like in 3 different trades for the opening bell and just get myself in a better position, because when we do get a nice move on indices, it's typically 300, 400, 500 pips. So I'll take 3 little 100 risks. So give you an example of numbers. I'd rather risk $100 3 times for that one time when we get around 400 or 500 on that one move. Right now, I'm not liking the RSI, how it's going back and forth. You can see the behavior, how it's like, it's slowly getting up and then it immediately drops down. And it slowly gets up, immediately drops down. So actually, once this gets back in profit, I'm probably going to close it out right now, because I'm not liking really much what's happening there in the 1 minute. even though here we can see that US 30 did the move. And I thought that US 30 was actually going to take a lot longer. But what we see a lot of times is when US 30 makes a move, NAS makes the move right behind it. So we should see another move here upward. So let's just get a little second here. And if this were to take me out, I'm going to go back in. I'm just going to go in a better position. Where's US 30? US 30 will eventually do a drop. When it does a big up, it does a big drop. So US 30, I'm actually going to take a sell here when it comes up a little bit more. And US 30, when it goes up, it goes down a lot of times on the movements here. So we want this to be
What are you looking for when you set 30? Are you looking for a sell or a buy?
Yeah, a sell. I just wanted to go up a little bit higher. Oh, hopefully, no, don't need to. Come on. Yesterday was yesterday. Don't do the same thing. So you guys see this little green little stick right here, which is called the wick? I wanted that wick to touch right here. That's all I wanted. I wanted to go up just a little bit more. This little wick right here, just a little bit more.
Melt.
And then it melts. That's all I was looking for. Just a little bit more. And that was happening yesterday to me all day. It happens when it happens. It's one of those things to where it's like, okay, well, at least I was correct in a sense as far as what it was doing. Sucks that the entry wasn't there. But yeah, the entry should have been 38977, and it went to 38969. And it's about to hit take profit now. That's wild. That is wild. There was a melt. There was a move. Well, we continue looking for more. And what Javed was saying about the calculators, here's the calculators, because you can see lot size, profit, hit, drawdown, pivot. So there's many depending on what you're looking for. There's plenty of calculators here for you to do. Obviously, put your pips, the instrument that you're looking for, your currency, your lot you're looking for, tell you, and that calculates for you based off the amount. So it lets you know what you're risking per pip. And then at that point, you decide how many pips you want to do on that. So I like utilizing technology. What's that technology? We use a little box here on Trade Locker, or if you're on MT5 on your phone actually has something similar to it. So where it shows you how much you're risking on your take profit and stop loss before you actually manually input the trade. So you could put the lot size, because a lot of times there's going to be different trades, right? There could be a trade where I say, hey guys, this is a trade alert and I want to risk 50 pips. And you always do one lot with me, one lot. Well, that actual trader want to do a little bit less than one lot. It changes a little bit there. Well, there's TP. It's at a 50% retracement. A lot of times when we see the opening bell with indices, we see it go up all the way or it goes down all the way. And then in that same 5-minute frame, we see it come back down 50%. If you guys look at it or eyeball it, at least you see this big green candle. As you can see, it's back up at half of that green candle. That is called the 50% retracement. We see that a lot with news. We see that a lot with opening bell moves. That happens many times. Where is our gold? What is gold wanting to do? Let's pull up the zone that I marked up. Not quite yet, but it's still just playing with us, obviously.
Yeah, gold's volume has slowed down. It's not really moving as much right now. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, it's come back down now. I was gonna buy once it was down there at 57. No.
So that's what I did is I rebought back at 2157.3.
Oh, lovely.
Perfect.
Already
Perfect.
30 pips up.
Yep. So
Perfect,
I'm
perfect.
now.
I was typing it in. I was like, why is it not showing it to me? But because I had an extra 0 here, so I was like, wait, that doesn't make sense. And by the time I fixed that, it left me. So I'm glad you're able to get that, Glenn. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yes, it did do that. Bounce off. We see it here. Just the news itself, we got kind of played with this little candle right here. And then it left us. So obviously now it's shooting up to the skies. It's going to hit around 62 right now. So a target that, Glenn, as your take profit. Obviously, right now, if you already got your 30 pips, you could close out. If anybody else got in, you could close out. You can move your stop loss up. You can partial. There's many things to do. But overall, I think this should be looking at upward to the 62 area, somewhere around the 62 area. Because the next set of news that we have here is in 20 minutes.
Yeah, so I caught one. I already hit my take profit on that last one.
Beautiful.
That actually brought me back. So last night I got caught on. Do you guys know what happened on Maddie Pips? Did a tap, and I wasn't paying attention, but I think it was like the same one that came out a couple times, and I just hit OK, and so I got kind of stuck into 2 of those, and I ended up blowing my day's worth of profits, so that's why I'm like, I'm gonna be a little more aggressive here this morning with you guys so I can make up for the losses on the tap. Do you know, was that a technology glitch or what was that?
No, that's the way that he trades. So he'll go for 3 trades. He'll go for 3 take profits, and then he'll take 3 individual trades.
Okay.
And then from there, he manages them, or you need to manage them to close them, move them, things of that nature. Or you could just take one. Like even if he calls 3, just take the first one, the shortest one, the TP one, but he does TP1, TP2, TP3. So ultimately, all 3 clear, you make a lot more, but if all 3 lose, and you saw the results too on that one. So a lot of times, a lot of people on my team, even though he calls 3, they'll just take the first one. They won't take the other 2. So
yeah, I think a lot of people are missing that on the taps. They'll just take a tap and then walk away and not look at it.
Yeah.
Where anytime I'm in a trade, I am watching what's happening, because if I start to see that I'm in a good amount of profit and it starts to hit that, forget about all the technical analysis stuff. This is going to sound super amateurish because you guys know I'm not trying to pretend like I know what I'm talking about. When I see the line start bouncing, like it's going up and down and it's bouncing, I might just take the profit if I'm in profit, close it and take my bunt, and then come back later and try to get another bunt. So that way, because I've been in the other scenario where then you go to maybe take the profit and then you hesitate and then it drops and now you're in a loss and you don't really want to get out because you don't want to take that loss. So now you're kind of like stuck. So sometimes I'm like, you know what, just take the win. Let me get my butt and get out of here. And I think people are missing that on the taps, that you can just close it when you see, hey, I won a little bit, I'm in profit, I feel good, let me get out and take my profit and run.
Yeah, I'm gonna look to get in for a tap to trade actually, on gold.
To do what?
For a buy still.
Yeah, it's back. It's hitting back there again.
So it's gone to a point of where, let me just get my Telegram message ready.
Now, where are you trying to get in? You trying to let it drop down, back down to 2157?
Where it's at right now, or even a little bit lower, I'm happy for a buy on gold. I just have to prepare the Telegram messages.
You got it there? You need help?
What, bro?
You got it, or you want me to help?
Yeah, I got it. I'm just typing it up. Preparing the template. And, it's already jumped up by 10 pips, huh?
It's right back down. It's right back down.
It's at 58. I wanted to drop back into the 57 area. And then I can go in.
It's like hovering right now.
Yeah, hovering right now.
Hey, so just as a note, anybody that's on this call and you're wondering like, hey, this is too complicated or this is too much info, like there's like a set of tools, I want to say like, I call it for dummies, where it's just like you press the button and you don't have to think about all this stuff. But there's also I want to master this, I want to get better, or somewhere in between. And, just if you're going to run to one of these contests, I've said it before, they're not just going to hand you the keys to a $100,000 trading account and say, hey, just go ahead and have fun. Right. So if you really want to see the numbers that I talked about on that blueprint, then you're going to have to roll up your sleeves and, stop rolling the dice for these get rich quick things and learn the skills that you need to learn in order to, and you don't have to learn a lot of skills, just learn how to manage these tools, listen to these guys so that you can get through a contest and get one of these accounts and start profiting from trading on other people's money, then turn that money into yours, profit on yours, compound and grow that. And if you do that plan over the next 12 months, then it'll completely change your life no matter where you are. You'll completely change the trajectory of where you're at. But you got to dedicate the time. You got to get away from, giving up, too soon on some of these things because they're a little hard or because something didn't work exactly the way you thought it was going to work. Give it time, be patient, learn, fail. And look at this, a new trade alert. A Javad. Did you say Javad or Javid? I say Javid. Is it Javad?
Yeah, you got it right. It's Javid.
Javid. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Perfect. Now we're just going to wait for the retest, wait for it to just climb up for us on gold. Waiting for a buy right now. I got in at 57.7. So, yeah, now we're just going to wait for the pullback upwards.
And you think it's going to land around 2162? Is that what you guys think?
Yeah, 2161, 2162, around that. What's your analysis saying, Brent?
Yeah, same thing. I just took a buy on NAS too. If you guys want to, I took a buy on NAS there. I didn't want to interrupt. It's at the entry point there. It's just this one is it's a 45 down, so it's a bigger, but at the same time it's a like 100 something plus up, so it's worth it.
Javid, I thought you were going to ask me what my analysis was.
For sure, Glenn, we'd love to hear it. We'd love to.
Glenn, what's your technical analysis of the charts? Man, I'm glad you asked. I like when the line is not shaky and it goes, and sometimes I like to use the Jedi mind trick or hold my breath to see if I could get it to come down or up in a certain direction. And so those are, this is advanced stuff. This isn't for everybody because there are times where I forget to exhale and I've held my breath long enough to where I pass out and then I wake up and I either won the trade or not. So this is advanced stuff,
Yeah, that's too advanced for me.
Yeah, no, I know. Listen, I mean, I'll show you my ways, but not now. You need a little bit more time.
Since you are a paid member, Glenn, I'm going to show you this little secret here too. Have you ever seen those little mini fans with a USB port that you plug into the computer? Get yourself one of those, and then you just put it right underneath the monitor. So, like for example, right now, I'm going to turn my fan on so NAS can go up with the fan, with the wind. That's what we need. But that's
Oh man,
That's a little.
I definitely want. I need one of those fans.
I have one that you plug into your phone actually as well. I picked it up at the airport. You know, the little mini fans. Plug it into your phone.
Look, I mean, I'm like, it's like can I will it up? You know, like I think of Yoda in Star Wars, and I'm just like, you know, really just using my mind to will up, because I can clobber like 3 days worth of profits into this session. Because I will tell you, my confidence in making more assertive trades, not that you're telling me to, but because we're on together and I'm listening to you as we're watching the market, you know, I feel like I can be a little bit more aggressive than I might normally be if I was on my own. Like, you would laugh at some of my little $8, $14 trades. I mean, I think I've made about 400 trades in the last 2 weeks. But some of them are like, you know, 80 cents. So but I like to try out different things. And if I'm testing something for the first time, I'll put in a very low lot size just to like see how the market moves, and, you know, just trying different stuff just to get comfortable with the tools. You know, I think it's funny when people say to me they don't want to make a mistake. I'm like, the whole point of having a demo account is make a mistake. You can reset it if you blow the account. So stop worrying so much, you know?
Yeah, that PT that we just sent, I closed it in profit.
You closed it already?
Yep, I closed it in profit. I closed it in 20 pips profit for ourselves. If you got in manually, you're still in even more profit than I am, because it's about to hit TP.
0.40 away from hitting TP, so it's 0.5. It's there.
Yeah.
It's literally there.
Yeah, so that was a lovely trade.
Mm-hmm. Finally it broke up, and that's what we were looking for since we sold, looking for above this line. This is the level that we see it's been respected as a floor, as a ceiling. We needed to break that ceiling, utilize it as a floor, and then head up. And that's what happened. Literally, this candle that we could see here didn't happen for us once. Come back again, finally broke through, levels out, now bounces off.
Is this gold?
Yeah, then my chart right now is gold.
He's looking at it on the 1 hour. That's why it looks different.
Oh, it's a 1 hour.
This is the 1 minute.
Okay, 1 hour.
Oh, 1 minute, yeah, 1 minute. That's why it looks so different.
It's the 1 minute. Yeah.
1 minute.
So we finally get that breakout there into the 1 minute.
Oh yeah, there we go.
We've been waiting for that for a minute since here. We've been waiting for that move. But the news came and did what it did. Finally hit back and continued its trajectory where it needs to go.
Now, Javid, when you're trading and are you inhaling a vape, or are you using the pre-rolls from My Daily Choice?
Yeah, so the pre-rolls, unfortunately, they don't deliver to Dubai, or I would be having them.
They don't? Why not?
No, they don't. They don't deliver to Dubai because the regulation is different in the UAE. So in Dubai, so the pre-rolls, like, I've been asking Josh, please, like, make a product for Dubai so I can smoke it here. Right now I'm just vaping. I'm pretty sure you guys probably have noticed I vape aggressively when I'm trading.
Is that what you're it's like a nervous thing or excitement?
It's more so to mellow me out, because one thing about trading is the best of us, the best traders, I always have noticed, is that they're very emotionless when they trade on the charts. Like, they have a very still hand. They have a low blood pressure. So what I do is I always try to do things that mellow me out. Like, I always go for a swim in the morning. In the nights, I go for a swim again. I go for an ice bath in the evenings. I vape aggressively when I'm trading. So anything to mellow me out, really. So I'm always calm, composed when I'm trading on the charts, and not being emotional when I'm trading, especially. So that's one thing you guys will notice about me.
Cool. Well, listen, gold is now up to almost 2162. And it just
There we go. Boom.
It just
So that was a lovely TTT there. That was a lovely tap to trade.
Let's see here. It's like hovering right up that right. It wants to go over 2162. I know it does.
Yeah, we know it wants to go to 65 actually. That's a zone that me and Brent see.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could do the right thing and get out and grab your profits like you're 3 up, 3 down, respectable, but want to hold it partial. That's what I'm saying. You can partial, move stop loss to a couple different things to hold it up to that 62, 63, 65. Those are kind of those areas. Mass, we are finally 200 pips in profit right there. So nice, finally get the break out there. Same situation, right? As gold right to continue a little bit back and forth. Finally leveled out, broke out.
Wow,
so now
that's a really nice
breaking. Head upward. We are 300 pips in profit now. In mass.
That's a really nice
minute. Took almost 30 minutes for it to get where it needed to be at. But it's finally there.
There we go. So you guys literally just witnessed us send a tap to trade. So this went out to everybody in the Akashx community, but you guys got exclusive access. Nobody actually sees this, like the customers, students, even other marketers in Akashx. They don't see behind the scenes our breakdown, our analysis as to why we want to go in for a tap to trade. You guys just saw now why we went in for the buy on gold, and literally the community are all dropping messages on the Telegram saying they're so happy, they profited and everything. And you guys literally were in and saw the trade firsthand before them, throughout the process and everything as well. So it's really amazing.
Yeah, this is what I saw I think it was last Friday actually, when you guys did that pop-up session and did this, but it was just you guys talking. And that's why I reached out to these guys and I'm like, guys, come on to our call. We got a new team. You got a bunch of new people that are just signing up. You know, there's a lot of people learning, a lot of people looking, and just do what you did. Like, just talk, just show us what you're looking at, so that we can understand it. Not understand it because we might not even understand what it is that you're doing, but you can tell when somebody knows what they're looking at and how they're coming up with what they're doing and collaborating and masterminding. And I think for me personally, that like sold me on this. Like it's not just the tools. The tools brought me in. Like that was the shiny object that got me to look harder. But then it was getting to know these guys and getting on a call with Brent, getting on a call with Javi, getting on a call with Maddie, getting to see what was going on, hearing these conversations, then learning about the scanners, and then learning about, okay, I could do this on my own. 2 weeks ago, just so I'm clear, because I've told you guys, I've spent thousands of dollars buying licenses, running bots, doing training. But even as of 2 weeks ago, I still never knew how to manually enter a trade. Well, I knew how to do it without setting a stop loss and a take profit. I could just hit sell or buy on MetaTrader 5. That's easy. But I'm talking about setting the take profit and setting the stop loss and how to do that on MetaTrader 5. I never knew how to do it. Now that I know how to do it there, I'm looking at Trade Locker. It makes a whole lot more sense too. So if you think, oh, well, Glenn has this skill, I can't do it because he knows all this stuff that I don't know. That's your brain playing tricks on you, because that's not true. I did not know that as of a couple of weeks ago. I learned that from these guys, from watching the trainings and just doing a little bit of practicing. And then all of a sudden something that was scary, I guess, a little bit, or unknown, then it becomes known. And now I actually prefer it as compared to what I thought I would want was all taps. And I do like the taps, but I actually like putting it in myself because I know where I set those boundaries now. And I did not believe that that would be the case. But now, 2 weeks later, that's exactly what I've been doing. And, I'm at like 86% win rate right now. And I can tell you there is zero chance that I know enough to be at an 86% win rate. Zero. I mean, you can't guess 86% of the time and be right. Like, it's just impossible, especially with these market swings and everything. So it's just these guys, the tools. Like, I'm telling you, this stuff works. It works.
Thank you, Glenn. Yeah, that's what we thrive for, right? To make sure that everybody can come in, get excited about it. And that's really what Type of Trade does, right? Brings you in as a non-trader. I'm not interested. I don't have time, this, that. But once you actually start seeing it, you start wanting to learn, that curiosity sparks. And now it turns into a quick buck situation, which that's not what it is, but it turns into a quick buck into an actual skill set. And that's where the true value is, where really your ROI is going to really shine once you actually say, okay, you know what, I know now how to trade. Like, I understand why. And here's, like, I always tell a lot of people, right, the ultimate goal is that the time comes, maybe like in a year or so, it might take a little bit, but it comes to the point where you're still in a community, because it's super important. The worst 3 months in my whole almost 5 years of my career was when I said, I know this shit, I don't need nobody. And I went off on my own, and that was the worst time ever. I came back into another community. I was taking my own trades. I wasn't even taking the educators' trades, but I was just in the community itself, right? So it's super important to be there. But ultimately, what you want to do is you want us to be an extra set of eyes. It's a situation to where you're not on the chart. Everybody calls a buy. You go in there and you're like, oh, I see it. And you take it. That's when really it sparks to where, like, you know what, this is now a skill set that's mine that nobody can take away. Now I'm really at that next level. At that point, sure, you want to find your own trades, mark your own charts. That's amazing. But once you start utilizing us as an extra set of eyes, that's really when you know you have that skill set, to your point. And there, guys, whoever's in Vegas, around Vegas, you like what you're seeing here right now, take it to a whole nother level and see us in person. So we will have an event there at the home office, 20th, 21st, which is already next week, which I didn't realize it. My wife told me this morning, like, you're gone next Tuesday. I'm like, where? Like, are you excited for Tuesday? I'm like, what's happening Tuesday? I'm like, oh, crap, I gotta go. So, yeah, it's happening next week, guys. So see you there, of course, in Vegas at the home office. Day one, we're going to have live trading. We're going to have over different strategies, analysis, breakdowns, just everything's going to be happening there. We're going to have a teacher, we're going to have food, the whole nine. So it's all educative the first day. And then day two, we have the business side of things, which is, even at that point, if you said no to be an affiliate, that's perfectly fine. But you still need to have that mindset. You need to have really that, because this is a business. You might not be in the affiliate marketing business, but if you're in the trading business, this is a business. It is your business. You need to know how to manage it. So it's something important. You're going to learn a lot of good skill sets too for that on day two. Girl math, it's free because it's $30 and you get $30 back. So that's my wife said. I didn't say that. So it's free. It's a free event. You pay $30 and you get $30. So $30 worth of brand bucks. Brand bucks you can use for anything. You can use it for your Akashx or any other product that you want. And the 25 plus brands that we have here in My Daily Choice. So really good event, guys. Like I said, we'll see you there in Vegas next week. Make sure you lock in your tickets. It is limited spacing, and we're already a little bit over half. 50 we're at 60 something whatever percent plus more capacity, and as always, everybody buys their ticket the last week. So make sure you just go in now. You don't want to buy first your airplane ticket to your hotel, and then you go in to buy the ticket and there's no more for you. You get an error because it's sold out. So make sure you lock into that. We'll see you guys there. I will be there. Fortunately, Javed will not be there this time, but I'll be there for sure to meet you guys in person. It'll be great to chat and show you guys what we do.
Awesome. Well, I've locked in 4 trades live, all gold, all going from 2157 all the way up to, I just closed my last one at 2162, and I pulled out my entire week's worth of profit.
Wow.
All in that little 30, an hour, I guess, about an hour. Because my goal was to hit 1% per day. I started on, what's today, Friday. So I started on Wednesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So this is day 3, and I'm at 4.5%. So I'm actually at 1.5% for each day now. And I think I might be done trading for today so that I can lock in my 4.5%, because that exceeds my goal for the 3 days. And that was my challenge to myself before I get into a contest, is I want to make sure that I can do it hold at 1.5% a day and string together 5 to 10 days before I invest in myself to go through the contest. I just want to make sure I can color within the lines using the tools and using the strategies and the experts. And that's where I'm at right now, 4.5% for 3 days. Really, I mean, that would be good for the whole week, but I'm pretty happy, pretty pumped.
Amazing, amazing. Well, I'm glad that's the case, Glenn, and I hope that is the case for everybody on this call as well. We look forward to doing more of these with you guys. We're really excited. We want you guys to be able to profit with us and, of course, grow your trading accounts. And hopefully we can start a culture where we do this, we grow this. We have more and more friends joining us on these calls, and we can do them on a regular occurrence, hopefully in the near future.
Well, thank you guys for coming on. Thank you for doing all that you do and bringing your expertise and bringing me back up into profits for the week, because I was not feeling too excited after last night. I'm like, oh man, I was doing so good. I'm like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it up live on the call, and that's exactly what we did. So you guys were. You guys gave me the confidence to be able to make some of those moves. So that was awesome. And so I think I'll revisit on Telegram. We'll talk about next week. It looks like we've had pretty consistently so far over 20 people attending the calls. And I've just told everybody, a lot of people are more passive investors, and, maybe they're not saying, oh, I want to build this big team or anything, but I've made the suggestion that I think it's more fun, more interesting, more challenging when you have your own group that you can work with. There's accountability, and you also get your Akashx account for free when you recommend 3 people. So forget about the advanced part of the marketing plan. Just think about that. Just think about how I always talk about, right, is we want to de-risk. We want to get our stuff for free, right? All these tools that are out here, think about just the advantage that you have by knowing how to get them for free, which is by just sharing this with a few people. And the bigger advantage from a selfish perspective, and I said this on Monday, is these guys they're business guys. Josh, all these guys are business guys, right? They're going to come on to our calls and support us if we're bringing volume, if we're bringing more expansion to the community, if they see this call growing and going, let's say 30, 40, 50 people, and everybody's tuning in, then there's a reason for them to be on the call, because they can not only help the community grow, but they're also promoting other stuff. And it's just, there's a lot of business benefits there. So from a selfish perspective, and I want you guys to be selfish, right? It benefits us to have this more private access, but that's not a promise that they can just give us. We have to earn that right for them to, that's not even a right, earn that privilege for them to join us like this. So, think about who you could potentially bring into the community. Again, this is very safe. Nobody's being asked to put up their own money. We're learning. We'll learn more about the contest. We're all growing from essentially a strategy of almost nothing to potentially something much, much bigger. So just think about who you could potentially bring in. We'll do this again on Monday, I believe, right? Are you guys good for Monday morning still?
Yeah, we should be, yeah.
Yeah, I should be. Yeah.
All right. So we'll do it again on Monday. And like I said, we talked about a week or two. We'll see how these sessions go. And if you guys are expanding the community, then I believe maybe we can talk about, just growing this. And I see a vision potentially of thousands of people all huddling together multiple times a week and working together to exponentially speed up your learning curve. That's what I see. But that's something we would have to earn. That's not going to be handed to us on a silver platter. Business is business. And so we need to do our part. All right, guys. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you guys getting on the call. And I am going to take a few minutes and just wrap up some things. Anybody want to come off mute, say hi, say bye, say thank you? Let's see. We do have some questions. I don't know if you guys want to stick around and probably better at answering questions than I am. My Meta 5 and Akashx doesn't seem to be connected. Oh, I heard this from Dr. Jen. Is there well, I know Ox sent out a message too saying that they were having some MetaTrader 5 issues.
Yeah, Ox is going to soon move over to Trade Locker. So that might be what's going on in the background. But yeah, I think
the number one thing that I get a lot of times when I get that statement is that make sure that in your server, I understand, like, for example, Ox, if you're using Ox, Ox will say Ox Securities Live as your server. But when you're putting it in Akashx, make sure it says Ox Securities Live MT5. So in Akashx, it has to have the word MT5 in the server. Even though in your actual email from your broker doesn't say it, make sure you do that. And then the other thing that I always say, just copy and paste. Don't try to write it. So a lot of times there's characters, there's this, it might be an L, it's not, this and that. So just make sure you go ahead and copy and paste it and make sure on the server it says MT5 on the server.
Yeah, so you guys know when you go into MetaTrader 5, you're setting up Ox Securities demo account. You're not going to Ox directly to set up an account yet. You're just doing that through MetaTrader 5. That's a demo account. I suggest pick 100,000. They give you the login ID number and they give you the password ID number and an investor password. You don't need the investor password right now. You just need the top 2 ID numbers. Then you go back to Akashx. You're putting the login. It'll say username or something like that. It's different name in Akashx. It doesn't say login, but that's what that is. And then the password is the password. But that's for Ox Securities, not for MetaTrader 5. It's for Ox, which you set up in MetaTrader 5, but that's what they're looking for. And then what Brent's talking about is when you go to pick the broker in Akashx, you're picking Ox Securities, and there's 3 choices. There's demo, there's live, and then there's MetaTrader 5 live. You want the MetaTrader 5 live, the third one, not the demo. You would think demo, that would be the one that would make the most sense because we set up a demo account in MetaTrader 5, but it's not demo when you go to Akashx. It's MetaTrader 5 live. So if you're not seeing a connection, then I would just recommend resetting that on Akashx and just start over and start a new account so that way it's connected. Somebody else asked, is Trade Locker
I reset that a couple times though, and it's interesting. Like on the home though, like when I do the trades and then close out, like if it's, if there's a profit or what have you, it'll show on MetaTrader 5. But then when I go to the home on Akashx, it doesn't read, like mine still says I've only done 1 trade.
Yeah, I know my
on the home.
my
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
My Akashx home screen is not syncing properly either. Yeah, that's something.
But like in the MetaTrader 5, it's still on history. Like there's no history.
Yeah, then that's definitely an issue if it's not showing up in MetaTrader.
So 5. I've done it like 3 or 4 different times. And yeah, definitely the demo and the 5, and it says connected, but and then it's like I was saying before, then the notifications show up, and then it's like, I don't know, a couple minutes behind, so to speak. So it's
are you using an
hard
iPhone?
to know how to. I have an Android.
Android, okay. All right.
So I don't know if
you got to turn off the battery optimization, so then the app is still running in the background. So then when the notifications come, it comes instantly over to your Android device. And you know when I don't know if you're on our Akashx Telegram, you know, the official one. You know when I just sent that TTT trade, I also sent a message instantly on the Telegram stating TTT has been sent. As soon as you get that notification, and you see you didn't receive a notification on your Android app, go into your app and close it forcefully, like you know when you close the whole app, and then when you go back up the app, you will see the trade there.
Okay, and what was the thing you said to shut off on Akashx?
Battery optimization.
Optimization.
On your Android device. You know, there's a option that saves your battery. If you turn that off, because what Android did was for our Akashx app, when that option is turned on, the app is not running in the background, so then the notification doesn't come through to your phone.
I gotcha. That's probably going to be helpful because it's like, yeah, it's way behind the time, and then I miss all the trades. So that's good. Thank you. I knew there had to be something. Thanks a lot.
Hey, you guys, somebody posted a picture of their Akashx account, and it shows MetaTrader 5 account connected, and then the balance is minus 191,000. And somebody else sent me theirs was minus 29 million. So is there maybe like some sort of technical thing where it's not impacting you guys, so everybody knows. If it's not syncing properly with your MetaTrader 5, it's not hurting you in any way. Just so you're aware, like it's not like if that's wrong, it's not going to hurt you. But I do agree it would kind of be nice to see it actually sync up. Do you think that would be better if we were using Trade Locker? That work better?
Yeah, on Trade Locker, because you could look at Trade Locker on the bottom. It says, what's the button? Make sure everything known. It says there close positions, and then when you go to close positions, it shows weekly, daily, whatever refresh, and then it shows you exactly your P&L for the day, everything that breakdown. I like it more on Trade Locker, just how it breaks it down for you. But outside of that, you're going to use your history just like you are doing it right now on MetaTrader. Just history, filter it through the day. That way you know what your P&L is for the day until we get corrected Akashx speaking back and forth to each other to make sure it's updating the P&L side of things. So yeah, especially for Android, a lot of Android people, it's not working. Same thing for myself. It's not working. Some aren't. But at the end of the day, it's not. And it's not prohibiting us or hindering our trading anything at that point. We just need to make sure we look at the history inside our broker itself. If you're on TradeX Mastery, you can even look at your P&L for the day in TradeX Mastery too.
All right, let's look and see. Joel just sent out let's see, what did Joel just send out? On gold.
He sent a buy.
Is it a buy? See, now when I go on commodities on trade alerts, it's not showing there.
It's a TTT.
Oh, it's a TTT? Oh, there it is. Okay, I didn't know it was a TTT. So what do you guys think about this buy? Stop loss 21.59, take profit 21.66. What do you think? Should we jump in?
For you, it's a little bit different, Glenn, I would say. Because you said you already hit your percentages, so what are you trading for? You already hit your percent.
I know.
So,
okay.
All right. Little
See, there's accountability. See, I'm also an addict, just so you guys are, you know, like, you're hitting on all my dopamine. You know,
you're like me, Glenn. No worries. So what I'll tell you is go into TradeX Mastery, buy another account. That account that you just did now, the 1%, you're done with that one, and you move on to the next account. Get multiple accounts. If you still need to scratch that itch, you get multiple accounts.
So that way you're kind of got a couple contests running at the same time, just in case you.
Yeah.
Maybe
or you have your live account and then you have
out.
your TradeX account, whatever it is, but you have multiple accounts, so you still want to make sure you're trading, but you want to respect your trading plan to make sure, like, okay, I'm above my percentage that I want. That's done. Leave it. cash out. Nobody went broke by withdrawing, so cash out. You're gonna cash out on that one. Like I say, take the TradeX capital money, take their capital, put it into yours, like what you were saying at the beginning, like stuff like that. So you're not going to do that if you break your own rules. So you got to make sure that you're at your percentage, be done, move on to the next.
See, accountability, guys. See what I'm talking about? So everybody's got to be held. Everybody's got to be held to accountability. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally just said, "No, I think I'm done for the day," and then something comes in, and I'm like, "Well, maybe I'll just take one more." But that's now. It's like there is a point. I've noticed it where I'll do that, and then I keep going, and then I slip backwards. Right? Like I guess it's like that gambler's mentality. You don't want that, right? You want discipline. You want to just get your numbers for the day, and then be able to put it down, come back, hit it again. You know, use your time wisely. You don't need to be sitting here all day every day, right? We can do an hour. You can hit your profit for the day or the week. Why do you need to do more? So, of course, that's me saying that, not doing it, but.
Yep. Yeah. Hopefully we do see a take profit here for the rest that did get in, because still like it. I mean, Given and I have been saying all morning, right? We want to see that 65 hit, and it didn't hit yet. It went to 64.14, scaling up all the way through. So, yeah, should be good. But yeah, I'll catch you guys for sure next Monday.
No,
I did jump on another call here in 10 minutes.
I should have taken it.
Yeah.
Somebody said they made like 5,000 just watching this call. So,
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, most of these guys are probably, I hope they're on demo accounts, right? Like that's what I've been preaching is everybody practice on demo accounts until you've strung together some, a good week or two. Like I wouldn't mess with real money. I just wouldn't take that chance because you just get comfortable, like really get to know this. And then you have the choice. You could either open a brokerage account in your own name. Like, so as an example, you could go to Akashx Securities. They're an Australian-based company that are licensed, regulated, and you open an account, you do the KYC. I actually have an account with them. You don't need to do this right now. I would actually say don't, but I'm saying in the future you could. And then let's say you decided you wanted to put 10,000 or 100,000 into that brokerage account. The difference between doing that and taking that money and putting it towards one of these high risk platforms is that this is an account that's in your name. So this is a licensed, regulated, real broker, which there are brokers that aren't. So you have to be careful. This one is one that I've vetted out. I know them now. I've talked to them. Like I got to see a little bit behind their liquidity and stuff. So they're legit. They're real, and they've been recommended by multiple people that I respect. So I feel good about Akashx. Not to say you have to use Akashx, but I do feel good about them. But it's in your name. So if you needed that money, you could take that money out, right? Like that's your money. It's your account. And so, you still want to learn the skills of how to manage a brokerage account, meaning, if you're in trades, you don't want to pull too much out and then you risk getting too close to, in any certain direction to where you could potentially have the account called. And there's just different things that you want to learn, but it is in your name. It is your money. And then you're now attaching a real brokerage account to MetaTrader 5 or to TradeLocker, then Akashx to the trading app. And now when you go on TradeLocker or MetaTrader 5 and take a tap to trade or a manual trade, now it's real money because it's coming out of that account. So if, for example, I'm at $4,500 in profit. If that was my money and I said, I'm going to take that $4,500 out, I could, and that's my money. That's my profit. I could take the whole 100 out if I wanted to. So that's yours, right? So that's the difference between some of the things that we might have looked at in the past versus, being able to manage it yourself. So now think about having the skill to be able to do what we're doing. And if it was your money and your profits, you now learned how to manage your own money and make your own 1% or your own 1.5%. You're not relying on some faceless person from somewhere over there that hopefully is telling us the truth. It's the truth because it's your money. Or the really fun way is to now get good enough at this where you now are in these contests and you're getting these accounts that are fully funded accounts. And Brent just gave me a really good idea that I think I wasn't really even considering, which is to have multiple contests running, almost like budget it. And then even after I get a funded account, still be running contests, because what I want to be doing is I want to be getting access to additional accounts just in case I do something to blow one of my other accounts. Now I have a couple others in the pipeline. Again, it's kind of like treating it like a business instead of a hobby, where now you are, you're just stacking the odds more in your favor as compared to saying, I'm going to run one contest and then I'm going to just manage that one account. But I'm not saying this is more, I think, of an advanced skill, more down the line. But now you could have multiple accounts. And if you're now leveraging an account that is a funded account, this is a fully funded account, and you're able to take the profits out after 8 days. So it takes at least 10 days to qualify, and probably a lot more, right? It's probably realistically going to take you a few weeks minimum to qualify through one of these contests, because if you're going at 1%, maybe 1.5% a day, you don't want to be too risky, because if you blow your day or blow your week, then you bow out of the contest. Now you just cost yourself whatever the deposit was for the contest. So you want to manage your risk properly and take your time. And that's why I've suggested taking a lot of small bunts and just take these little profits along the way. And now you qualify. And after you qualify, it's going to be another 8 days before you can take profits out. So you got to go 8 more days. And you can profit during the 8 days. And the goal is you want to profit, because what you're doing is you're building up a little more of a buffer in that account. Now on the 9th day, you can start taking the profits out. And if you want to take the profits out every day, you can. It takes 24 to 48 hours for the profits to clear. You're going to get paid in crypto. If you don't know how to manage crypto, we can show you that. It's very simple, very easy. We'll show you how to convert it into the US dollar if you don't know how. Or you like what I was saying before, is you take that crypto and you could take some of it and put it into a wallet, and then use something. There's different programs where you can pay your bills using crypto. And then there's other things where you can open up prepaid debit cards with crypto. So you never have to actually convert it back to the US dollar if you don't want to. And the other thing that you could do is take that crypto and then put it right into your own brokerage account. So now you're, let's say, splitting the profits. Like I used the example of $8,000 for the week. Well, I might take $4,000 and apply that to some of my bills, pay my car payment, pay my insurance, pay my credit cards, all that stuff using services. So I'm keeping it in crypto, but I'm just paying my bills with the crypto. Then I might take the other half and put it into a brokerage account under my own name, attach it to Akashx, attach it to TradeLocker, all the same stuff, so that I can use the tools to now manage my own accounts. And now I'm doing 1% a day or 1.5% a day on my own money, which was profits earned off of one of these funded accounts. And then I'm compounding that using the money that I'm earning to pay my bills with, and all the while I'm doing this off of other people's money, OPM. And if you talk to anybody that's, big investors, they're always leveraging other people's money. It's a very smart and effective way, even if you have the money. It's not to say that if I don't get some of this liquidity that I'm waiting for, I may just put it in one of these brokerage accounts, manage it the same way I'm doing that. Why not? If I can do 1%, 1.5% a day, why not throw it into an account? So now I have that there. I still want to go through the contest. I still want to manage one of those fully funded accounts and use this strategy, because why would I not want to do that when I could potentially be earning profits off of somebody else's investment dollars? And so that's this map, right? Like, I mean, I know I've explained it 5 different ways to Sunday, but I really want everybody to understand and comprehend what this map is. $1,000 is really all you need to get started with Akashx and with the contest. $1 million is very possible. It's not a guarantee, but it's possible if you are taking those profits and putting it into your own brokerage account and then compounding those profits on a weekly basis for a year, and then adding each week as you earn. It's very possible to build up to 7 figures, and at the same time taking a couple $100,000 to pay your bills and expenses and learn how to live off of the grid, because now you're essentially earning and getting paid in crypto. If you know how to manage your crypto properly, you can be very creative and live off of the financial grid. So there's just different strategies that you can employ that are just smart money strategies. And so this is a blueprint. Akashx is really just the tool belt, and it's many different tools that they give us access to be able to essentially achieve our goals. Yeah, we're at right now 10:30, and I just want to show you guys real quick one other thing, and then we'll go ahead. Let's see. Oops, I shared the wrong thing. We have just maybe 5 more minutes left. So I'm going to pull up one of the tools that I've been really enjoying. Let's see, where is this here? I close it. Oh, I might have closed out. So let's go to Akashx. All right, so this is Pulse. If you go down to the scanners down here, there's 3: Pulse, Rhythm, and Golden Rain. I haven't really been able to get Rhythm, but Pulse has done the job. I have now, let's see, I have 60 trades over the past couple days, past 3 days. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 losses. So 10 losses out of 60 trades. I am at about 84% right now win rate. And again, I'm not good enough to be able to win at 84%. Essentially, what I've been using is tap to trade. I've been using the live sessions, the stuff like what we did today, and then I've been using the scanners, and specifically this scanner, XAU USD is gold US dollar pair, and so new trade alert. Oh, it's a Forex trade. Okay, I'll leave that one alone because I'm not taking any more trades today anyway. See how bad my habits are. This is basically here. It's 3 different trading strategies, and when they align, see this little red arrow that says that the market is going to drop. When all 3 strategies line up, then it'll give you one of these things here where it says sell 3 points or sell 4 or sell 5, or it might say buy 3 or buy 5 or buy 4. See the buy 4.